Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, so have you ever met someone, or hey, maybe this is actually you, who constantly talks about big dreams? You know, success, money, building this completely different, amazing life. They imagine it perfectly, they genuinely believe they can do it, but then somehow, years go by and literally nothing changes. It's this universal paradox, and today, we're going to unpack exactly why that happens. It really makes us ask the question, is dreaming big actually holding you back? Okay, let's dive into this. Because psychology tells us that this inaction, it isn't just simple laziness. When you're stuck in that planning phase forever, it's actually a really complex psychological trap. So if you've been beating yourself up for not starting, just take a breath. Psychology says this isn't just laziness. There are much deeper psychological reasons behind our inaction. Basically, your brain is actually tricking you. It's secretly lowering your defenses and sapping your drive for the journey ahead, and you don't even realize it's happening.
All right, Section 1, the illusion of progress.
Here's the thing. When we confuse imagining success with actual progress, we are entering incredibly dangerous territory. In psychology, constantly imagining your success tricks the brain into giving you a false sense of achievement. You think about the goal so much that your mind acts as if the work is already done. It's like your brain is cashing a check your body hasn't earned yet. Breaking this down a bit further, you can see how this dopamine hit works directly against us. Your brain releases small amounts of satisfaction, literally just from planning. So you get this sense of achievement prematurely. And the result? That absolutely crucial urgency you need to take actual real-world action is drastically reduced. That warm, fuzzy feeling of planning completely kills the fire you need to start the hard work. And this brilliantly illustrates how we get caught in this ironic cycle of overthinking. First, you analyze every single step. Then, you imagine every possible outcome, every possibility. And because of all that heavy mental processing, you start to feel completely exhausted. I mean, thinking about going to the gym is basically a workout, right? And the ultimate result? You do absolutely nothing. By the time you actually need to act, your constant analysis has completely drained your mental energy.
Moving on to Section 2, the paralysis of perfection.
You know, fear of failure is very often hidden right underneath motivation. People who dream big, they really don't lack ambition. What's actually happening is they are terrified of risking their self-image. Like, what happens if they try and actually fail? So instead of facing that risk, they prefer to stay comfortably in the planning phase. Because, well, as long as they don't actually put it to the test, their dream remains absolutely flawless and perfect in their minds. This leads right into a massive misconception we hold about getting started. The myth is that we have to wait, feel completely ready, and then act. But psychology shows us the exact opposite. The reality is that you must act first, and the feeling of readiness comes after that action, not before. So many people falsely wait for a perfect moment of readiness that, honestly, simply never arrives. Which brings us to Section 3, the identity trap. There's a massive psychological barrier at play here. It's the idea that the brain resists actions that don't match how a person sees themselves. If you secretly harbor the belief that you are undisciplined or that you're just someone who never actually finishes things, you will always struggle to act, no matter how grand your dreams are. Taking real, consistent action requires you to step into becoming an entirely different person in your own mind. And, well, your brain fights that change. Now, what's really interesting about this concept is this profound idea of addiction to potential. It's defined as staying attached to the exciting idea of who you could be, rather than doing the hard, boring work required to get there. We literally fall in love with the exciting sense of possibility. I mean, it feels so good to talk about future success, right? But doing so lets us completely avoid the messy, unglamorous reality of genuine effort. Think about it. Dreaming is exciting, it's filled with potential, and it's absolutely perfect. But doing is repetitive, it's slow, and it's often very uncomfortable. Talking about big dreams feels amazing and builds up your identity, for sure, but the actual real-world progress is a grind. We naturally want to choose that dopamine high of talking about the future over the uncomfortable reality of the present. And that leads to our final part, Section 4, choosing action over potential. The hard truth we have to swallow is this. Real progress means facing who you are right now, not just who you could be. You have to gently but firmly give up that perfect potential version of yourself. You basically have to let go of the flawless dream so that you can do the uncomfortable, imperfect work of reality. It definitely feels better to imagine, but it's only through taking physical action that you actually build anything. Because, look, having big dreams isn't rare at all. Everyone has them. But turning them into reality, that is. Ultimately, the difference isn't talent. It's the ability to act even when your mind is working against you. Success is literally about fighting your own psychological mechanisms. You just have to take that step forward, even when your brain is begging you to stay comfortable in the planning phase. Which leaves us with this final, really powerful question. Are you ready to face who you are right now? It is time to stop letting your brain trick you with the illusion of progress, the fear of failure, and that addiction to potential. Break the cycle, step out of the dream, and take immediate, imperfect action today. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I really hope this gives you the push you need to get started.